You are now watching Brew News, your number one source in world news. Go f*** yourself.
Imperium Romanum. And that is the best that the Deuce can hope for. Because 60,000 men, you can lose that to a bad case of mud butt. Yo, what is up, bros? Welcome back to Brew News, your number one source in world news. Back to Italy. Back to the Deuce. Back to the Deuce's dream of forming Imperium Romanum. When we had left off, the Deuce had wrecked the last major powers of Europe. All that remains is Portugal, the Netherlands, Albania, and for some reason Mexico has Crete, the US has Cyprus. But we're not worried. I mean, the Deuce is not worried about those things right now. He's got bigger areas to contend with. Not sure if the Deuce is gonna need this or not. Stay tuned. Also, the Deuce has to take over the Middle East and portions of North Africa, although from the documents that I have found, it's not very specific as to how much of North Africa he needs. So as you can see by our latest satellite imagery, the Italians have armies surrounding Portugal, the Netherlands, Albania, and it looks like they're ready to go into Syria and Iraq. We are getting breaking news in from Portugal, where the Italians have launched their attack. It looks like Portugal has joined the Greater East Asian Co-Prosperity Sphere. Interesting choice. And they're no match. I mean, think of these. Well, for one, they don't have many troops, but these are battle-hardened Italian troops. They have been at it since, I mean, what was the first thing I took on? What was the first thing the Deuce took on? Austria? Yeah, they've been at it since Austria. Battle-hardened troops. They've been going at it almost a decade. Lisbon is about to fall under the might of the Deuce's army. Why are you struggling? There's like a couple troops there. There's 5. Come on, guys. Boom! There we go. I was wondering what was up with that delay. Portugal goes down. And at the same time, the Deuce has declared. And they joined. They did not join the Greater East Asian Co-Prosperity Sphere. Obviously, again, no match for the Deuce and his battle-hardened troops. They joined the coalition of free Commonwealth states, but nobody really wants to help them out. Casualty reports. Yeah, their bros are not even joining in with them. They don't want any part of the Deuce. The Dutch want a non-aggression pact. It's a little bit too late for that, I would say. The Deuce laughs at your non-aggression pact. You're coming at it from a point of weakness. The Deuce does not respect weakness. The Deuce only reacts to power. That's all the Deuce understands. The Dutch are actually putting up a pretty good defense here. Surprisingly. Although they did have some backup of countries that have not even declared on Italy. As the battle for Amsterdam drags on, we are getting breaking news that the Italians are just about to launch an invasion of Albania. And there it is. Albania and their massive 3-division army and there it goes. RIP. We are just getting breaking news in here to Brew News. The Italians have begun their takeover of the Middle East. I guess it would kind of be more of a continuation. There was a lull in action. They are back. Syria falls. Damascus is out. Syria has capitulated. On the Dutch front, they're still resisting the might of the Italian army. It's just amazing what they're doing here. And there you have it. Benito Mussolini has announced that the cowardly Dutch nation could no longer withstand the pressure from the overwhelming presence of Italian forces throughout the country. Could not have said it better myself. Battle-hardened Italian panzer divisions just wreaking havoc in the deserts of the Middle East. That's all they needed, just a little bit of panzer backup. Oh, there you have it, bros. Iraq has capitulated. Oh, well, damn, look at Kuwait down here. RIP Kuwait. All that remains is some leftover East Asian co-prosperity sphere troops. Breaking news, the Italian landings on Mexico-controlled Crete is underway. What type of resistance are we looking for out of the Mexican army? None. Congratulations. Crete's been taken without a shot fired. The Italian lightning war in the Middle East continues, going into Lebanon and Palestine. Lebanon has capitulated, and we're getting word that Italy is launching their attack into US-controlled Cyprus. See if that goes as well as Crete did. No, it's already more of a pain in the ass than Crete. Oh, it's over. RIP. And there you have it. Palestine has fallen. Cyprus has been taken, and the Italians are going ahead and launching their attack into Egypt, which is a little bit more heavily fortified than what we have seen recently. Checklist on the Deuce's dream. Looks like he's only got Italian, Spanish, French, and British states in Egypt, Europe, North Africa, Middle East, the Mediterranean. Which I think the Mediterranean is cleared, the Middle East is cleared, Europe is cleared. All that remains is North Africa. And the Deuce's armies are making short work out of these coalition of free loser states. At this point, almost the entirety of the world is against the Deuce. But at the very least, the Deuce can say he has Greater Botswana on his side. There is 1% war support. People are tired of the Deuce at this point. 1%, those couple guys that are getting rich. Corporate Italy, they're the only ones that are supporting this war right now. The 1%ers. Breaking news coming in here to Brew News. Italian naval landings into Algeria are underway. And Algeria has joined the Greater East Asian Co-Prosperity Sphere. Yet another member of the world community against the Italians. And they've got a port. Game over. As the cool kids say in the Italian territory, deuces. Italian army struggling a little bit here. They've got a pretty good defensive line, although, and this hasn't even been brought up, but the Deuce is in control of 66 nuclear weapons. The Deuce has a problem here. He can't dispatch an air wing because he has no manpower. He can't gain air superiority because he has no air wing. He can't drop nukes because he doesn't have air superiority. Breaking news! Italian troops have finally penetrated Egyptian front lines and are making their way towards Cairo. Cairo has fallen, but the Italians have once again stalled out. Algeria, the Italians are making some headway. And just like that, Algeria has capitulated under the might of the Italian army. I could only guess that the Kingdom of Morocco and Tunisia is up next. Alright, the Italians are getting into a little bit of trouble now. The lack of manpower is starting to affect their Egyptian front. They are losing units. They probably, now, this is just hindsight from a veteran news reporter, but if I was the Deuce, I probably would have waited to build up a little bit of manpower before I started the war into Africa. Kinda stupid, just saying. So, with these units, he needs quick wins that don't tax the already taxed manpower pool. Obviously, he can get it in Tunisia, but can he get it in Morocco? Breaking news coming into Brew News. The Deuce has launched his attack into Tunisia. And they join the greater East Asian co-prosperity sphere for the couple weeks that they are still in existence. And there it is. Tunis has fallen, and with it, Tunisia has capitulated. And the invasion of Libya is underway. Remember, the Deuce needs quick wins. And it looks like he's going to get it. They have not even fought a battle yet. Does Libya even have an army? Okay, there's one artillery division. Thanks for showing up. Their capital falls. Casualty reports coming in. Italy has taken almost 2 million. That can't be good. Italian troops are driving on Tobruk, meeting very little resistance. Although there are a few divisions in their way, there's still very little resistance. Because we're talking about the great Giovanni's army, who has been going at it since the Austrian Alps. And there goes Tobruk. And with it, Libya has capitulated. Now they can start heading into Egypt from the west. Maybe get them pinched up in Alexandria and wreck the entire coalition army. Or run out of manpower and have to sit there like these divisions had to. Although they are building back up slowly in manpower, they're not as low as they were. The great army of Giovanni Messi came storming in from the west and is just about to cut off a huge portion of the coalition army. Actually, he's not even going for the cutoff. He's just going for the hammer technique. He's not going, there he did it. And Alexandria has fallen. Oh, and there you go. Egypt has capitulated. War support has just tanked again. Back to 1%. Only the military-industrial complex is supporting... Oh, well shit, now they're out of it. They don't even want a war now. They're making billions of dollars and they're just like, okay, we're done, Deuce. Can you stop going to war with everybody? 2 years have passed. It is now 1952. With relative peace and quiet in the Middle East, Africa, and Europe, the Deuce has figured out his war support problem. However, the Deuce has not figured out his manpower problem. He's setting at 61,000, and that is just not enough. He must take Spanish Africa, now controlled by the Soviet Union. If I was the Deuce, what I would do is try to start a little bit of a coup there. Switch governments, take it over, boom, the Deuce realizes his dreams of Imperium Romanum. And that is the best that the Deuce can hope for. Because 60,000 men, you can lose that to a bad case of mud butt. Breaking news! After 2 years of relative peace and quiet, a ceasefire if you will, the Deuce has started back up his war in Egypt. Shit. The Deuce is actually gaining manpower since starting the war. Maybe he should have been fighting a war this entire 2 years. He could have had a million-man army. Or a million-man reserve. We are getting sombering news in here to Brew News. Leaked documents show that the Deuce has okayed the use of nuclear weapons on the Egyptian front. Oh my God. The humanity. Morocco is taking a beating. Manpower is staying pretty steady. And the nukes continue to rain down. And I keep forgetting this faction. Coalition of Free Commonwealth State Troops. I don't know, it just can't be too healthy for the Italian troops to walk right through the fallout. There's been like, what, like 70-some nukes dropped right here? Cannot be too healthy. The last lands of Egypt are about, and there it goes, claimed by the Italian army. Now it appears like the Deuce is just nuking people for fun. Just to see, and I quote, the cool-looking mushroom clouds. I mean, I must admit they are pretty cool. That nuking appears to have broken the back of the Moroccan army as well as whatever allies they had. It appears like it's all over from here on out. And Casablanca is about to fall. That should, boom, wrap it up. Now all that remains is Spanish Africa, now controlled by the Soviet Union. If the Deuce can't get this coup going, I predict a lot of nukes being thrown down. We are breaking into your regularly scheduled programming for what is possibly the biggest single piece of news to come out of this godforsaken bloodbath, and that is the Italian coup in the Russian-controlled Spanish North Africa has been successful. Bring this war to an end in fashion by dropping about 60 nukes, and that's gonna wrap it up. I don't know how you can have organization but with absolutely no troops. And there it is. Russian Federation has capitulated. Spanish North Africa is now under the control of the Italian army. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, by executive action, the Deuce has named the Italian territory Imperium Romanum. Boom, bros! There it is. Rise of Imperium Romanum. The Italian military advance seems utterly unstoppable, and the idea that many sneered at in recent years, the creation of a new Roman Empire, now seems entirely within the Italians' grasp. Most continental European powers that could oppose them have been virtually eliminated, leaving the Italians free to enforce their will upon the conquered peoples. In addition to beginning integration of what they have already begun referring to as reconquered Roman territory, the Italian government has now announced the rebirth of the Roman Empire, renaming the nation to Imperium Romanum Roma Victa. And with that, bros, this news broadcast is a wrap. If you're enjoying this content, you know what to do. Slap the like and subscribe, hit the notification bell, and I will see you back here for our next episode. Brew News out.